In this episode, we talk about how not to be that Walmart greeter. This is Ask the BCE Show. I'm your host, Kurt Belding. This is episode number 16. Again, that's the Blue Collar Entrepreneur Show. I'm a blue collar entrepreneur for blue collar entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneur words there. I did a quick little poll yesterday to see. I had a couple topics in mind. One was money. One was thoughts and controlling thoughts and perceptions. And I wanted to see what all my social guys out there on like Instagram, Facebook wanted to talk about. Everybody, almost everybody, said, "Hey, let's talk about money." So today we're going to talk about money. The first thing, before I get in here live, send me some questions. I got some stuff I'm gonna ramble about, it's my opinions, but I'd love to hear what you guys had to think about money. Let's have some good context here. Again, I'm trying to create as much value for you guys that are watching this, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you guys are seeing this on any platform. I want a lot of value for you guys. Again, this is free content, you guys. I don't ask for anything in return, just trying to help out. So, all right, money. I think the first place to look at when you're talking about money is your relationship with money, how you perceive money. I think that's the biggest and most valuable part. I think most of us find our relationship with money in our early childhood. It has a lot to do with how our parents viewed money. If you grew up in a household where I'll give you my example here. My parents didn't have a lot of money growing up. It was actually mainly my mom raising me and my sister for a while, and I think she raised us on like $20,000. So we're like classified as poor. I mean, I didn't really feel poor ever. Like we had fun, and that was kind of common for where I grew up. But we never had a lot of money. I don't think my parents were really educated about money that much. The whole thing that they knew to do was work super hard, make money, and save money. That's all they knew. And my mom worked factory work. My dad was a construction worker. So it wasn't like we were rolling in money and knew a lot about money. But my perception of money, which came from my parents, was you worked really hard, you earned that dollar an hour wage, and if you had any left over, hopefully you had some left over, you saved it and put it in the bank, saved it for a rainy day. And if you worked hard enough, you got that 25-cent raise, at the end of the year maybe, which, let's be honest, guys, it's kind of ridiculous, right? I know a lot of you guys are out there working an hourly wage job, and you work your ass off to get a few cent, maybe a few cent raise out there. Sometimes there's raise freezes where you don't get a raise at all. But anyway, my relationship with money was actually perceived as money's not good. The perception of money was the more money you had, the more problems, right? You guys all heard that. Money's the root of all evil. That rich people actually were bad people because we didn't have any experience with people that actually had a lot of money. And that was the perception of my household was, oh, look at that guy's all rich, and how do he earn his money? Probably ripping people off to get rich. So that was my perception for a long time. And you guys, if that's your thought and if that's your relationship with money, you'll never have money. You think money's bad, right? And it took a long time to train my brain and train my perceptions, my thoughts, my story that money's not the root of all evil. If I had a lot of money, I'm not going to be a bad guy. I am who I am. And actually the exact opposite. If you're a good person and you like to help people, the more money you have, the more people you can actually help. You can actually do a lot more. I could do a lot more with $1,000 on helping someone than I could $100. That's just the truth behind it. So, it took me a long time to retrain those thoughts of money's not bad, money's not the root of all evil. And if I had a lot of money, I'm not a bad person. And actually, by having a lot of money, I could do a lot more good in the world than I could without, right? So I think that's step number one, guys, is look at your relationship with money, your perceptions about money, and retrain that. Rewrite that story of, and if you're like me, if you grew up like money's not good, money's kind of bad, you have to really change that perception. So that's step number one. I think once you change that perception, I think step number two is how you handle money, what you do with money. I think there's a huge problem, especially in America. I haven't had much experience outside of America, but with a huge problem with money, with keeping up with the Joneses, is wanting to be perceived of having more money than what you actually have. You're more worried about driving the nice vehicle, owning the nice house, buying brand new clothes, the nice watch, than you are in actually your success in future finances. So I think a lot of people overspend where you're not actually saving money, where you're too worried about what other people think about you to that you don't want to drive the old vehicle that you've had for 15 years, but it's paid off and you don't have a car payment. You don't have to pay full coverage insurance. You can pay liability insurance with no car payment and start saving money, right? So like that perception of you have to look a certain way and you're worrying about what other people think, it's actually really hurting you. So if you're like that and you don't have the money and you're putting stuff on credit card, you guys, credit cards are the worst financial decision you can do. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. Don't put it on a credit card and get hit with that. In the beginning, it might be 0% interest or even 5, 10, that's pretty good. As soon as you miss a payment or something messes up, that interest rate goes to like 25%, and that's very expensive. That's a lot of money for your money, right? So credit cards are super bad, you guys. Car payment is probably the worst investment you could ever do, is buying a new car. And I've done it, you guys. Like I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and say like, don't do this. And I've done it. I'm being 100% honest. I've bought new vehicles. I've had credit card debt. I've done all this. That's why I kind of know. If you buy a brand new vehicle, let's just call it $30,000 vehicle. You drive it off a lot, literally one day. That $30,000 probably jumps down to $25,000, $23,000 of actual value of the vehicle. You just lost $7,000 in one day, gone. And now you're paying a car payment, which now you can't save that money and use that money to make more money. And by the time that vehicle gets paid off, that vehicle might, 4 or 5 year loan, that vehicle might be worth, that $30,000 investment is now worth $5,000. How is that a good investment? So be really smart. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Drive the crappy vehicle, save your money, don't overspend. So that's step number 2, guys. Be really smart with money. Don't worry about what other people think. And start getting to a position where your finances, where whatever your bills are, you're actually making more money than what your bills are. It seems really simple, you guys, like, oh, duh. Like, yeah, you don't want to like spend more than what you make because you're going to be in a problem, but millions of people do it every day, you guys, like every day. So it's not as simple as what we think. I've even had a lot of problems with it. I've had problems in my past with money. My biggest thing was my psychological view of money was all I cared about was as long as I made enough money to pay my bills, I was good. That was my perception. That was my thought. And guess what happened, guys? The more money I made, the more bills I had, and I never made enough money to really save actual money. So rewiring that brain, rewiring that perceptions, not caring about what other people think, those are huge deals. Now, if you fix all these things, you fix the way your perception is about money, you fix the way you're spending money, what you're, how you use money. And you know what? On that point, let me get a little bit heady with you guys. Like, I believe in the universe. I don't know if you want to call it God or spirituality or whatever you want to call it. I believe that there's something out there, there's something electric that happens. And if you're showing the universe that you're not good with money, you're not good budgeting money, I believe that the universe won't give you opportunities to make more money because you've already proven you're not good with money. But as soon as you start doing better with money, start budgeting money, start using money more responsibly, I believe that the universe will open up more opportunities for you to make more money because you've proven you can handle money. That's the heady spiritual side of it. The practical, the reality side of it, as soon as you start being better with money, now you have better tools, you're actually developing yourself and advancing yourself and understanding money more. Obviously, opportunity is going to open up because your knowledge base is better with money and you're going to see opportunities. You're going to be able to start saving money and using that money to make more money, right? So that's the next step. I think the last step here is once you're actually making money, you're making more money than what you're spending. And you guys don't have to be millions, right? Like if you're getting paid $3,000 a month, but your bills are only $1,500 to $2,000, start saving that $1,000, okay? Now be careful when I say saving money because that's on the flip side, on the opposite end of saving is actually not good either. You don't want to just save money. So let's just say that I got a little nest pot of $10,000 and I want to put it in the bank and I'm saving it, right? And I think, okay, good, I saved $10,000 and that's great. In case something happens, I got a little extra reserve. But that $10,000 is literally worthless unless you guys are using it. And the actuality of it, if it's sitting in a savings account in the bank, that $10,000 is actually whittling away. There's bank fees, whether you like it or not, you are paying the bank to allow them to have your money, which is absolutely ridiculous. You're literally giving your money to the bank, and the bank's using your money to make more money on loans and financing, whatever they do with their money. I don't know banks real well, but I do know they make money by loaning your money to other people. So they're making money and then charging you to make money, which is absolutely ridiculous, you guys. I don't believe in keeping money in a bank for very long. Go ahead and like use that to stack cash. I call it stacking cash. Get a good lump sum of money. Take that money, put it somewhere that money can make babies and make more money. Like money is absolutely worthless. It's a piece of paper. There's nothing to it unless you're actually using that money to do something better for your life, better for somebody else, or investing it somewhere where it's going to make more money. I call it making babies. That money's going to make some babies and make more money for you. And then you add more money and you invest and you just keep doing that over and over again. Okay, guys? And here's the last point that I want to make. Retirement. Most people, especially maybe my age, I'm like 39, I'm not even 39 yet. 38, I'll be 39 in February next month. So I'm getting closer. I'm kind of getting it a little bit. Like Alex and Isla, even you, Reese, like some of my guys. You guys are in your 20s. Reese, you're not still in your 20s, are you?
30. Yeah.
30, oh my God, you're getting so old. Especially when we're younger, we don't think about retirement. And Alex, at like 24, 25, 5 years from now, dude, you're going to be 30. And 40 is quick. That is right around the corner, man. And the last thing I want for you, and the last thing I want for me, and the last thing I want for anybody is when you hit 65 and there's no Social Security left anymore, and I'll get into that real quick, you guys keep working. How are you going to live? If you don't have money for retirement, and retirement's there faster than what you guys think it is. If we don't start planning for it now, it's going to hit us in the face. And you're going to be a 68-year-old person greeting people at Walmart making $9 an hour or whatever they make. You know, no one wants that life. We want to be able to retire and say, man, we worked really hard. Now I want to kick back and relax. You know, have my little condo on the beach or whatever, wherever you're at, and be able to survive and have that income. That's the goal, guys. And that goal should start now. It should start when you're 19 years old, not when you're 40 like me. Like I'm 40 years old. I have almost 40. I have like 25 years left, man. That's not a lot. And the reality of it is inflation. The value of the dollar is going down. Inflation's going up. $1 million today is going to be shit 10 years from now. And $1 million isn't even that much anymore, you guys. So what you think you can retire on, and I know a lot of perceptions like, I've had my house paid off, I don't have to earn as much money. If I have this paid off, I don't have to earn my lifestyle. I'm going to lower my lifestyle. If you've been living a certain lifestyle for 40 years, do you really think you're going to change your lifestyle when you hit 65? Probably not. And it's going to really suck if you have to. So what I would do is, let's say you hit 65, and that's kind of the retirement age. Let me get into Social Security. Social Security probably is not going to be there for me in my age group. It's definitely not going to be there for you guys in your 20s. All right, I think that's my opinion. And here's the problem: is the baby boom generation. Social Security was awesome. Thank you, God, for the government. I think it's a great program. But what the reality of it was is the baby boomers hit Social Security, and there's a lot more of them than there are of us. Social Security is going to be gone really quick. So if there's not much left for me in my generation, there's not much going to be left for the 20s. There's no guarantee that there's any kind of Social Security. If you don't have a job that is going to give you a pension, retirement's on you. And how much money is it going to take for you to live from 65 to say 85? What if you guys lived at 98 years old? That's a lot of years to be living whatever lifestyle that you can afford. Let's just take an average, household income. Let's say you have a house, let's say it's $300,000, your mortgage payments, maybe it's paid off, maybe it's not, but you have a house, mortgage payments might be around like $2,300, car payment. Let's say you guys are doing pretty well on $130,000, $150,000 a year net collective income if you're married. Well, if you want to continue that lifestyle, you should be making $130,000, $150,000 a year over the next 65 to 85. That's 20 years of living. When you're 65, you better have $2 to $3 million in the bank at least. That's not even calculating for inflation, you guys. You better have $2 to $3 million in the bank to live on. If you don't, you're not going to retire. You're going to work till you die, and no one wants to do that. So I know that's scary, guys, but that's the truth of it. That's the reality of it. That's money. Be thinking about retirement. Be thinking about investments. I can help. I'm learning a lot more. I realize that, in my experience, I learned how to build companies and make money. Now I'm learning a lot more of what to do with that money to protect me when I'm retired. And that's kind of my next venture is, financial services. That's what I do a lot now. So learning a lot about it, that's for me is the biggest thing, is protection of my family, protection of myself when I hit retirement age. It's huge. So that's my spill of money. Let me recap it real quick. Number one, relationship with money, how you view money. That's huge. That's so important. 2, how do you use money? Can you budget? Because if you can't budget now and you're not going to change that, you're pretty sure you're not going to be budgeting when you're 65. You're going to run out of money. What if something happened? What if you get disabled? Then what? Are you protected with that? Money is very important, you guys. Like, if you're out there thinking, no, I don't care about money and I just want to experience life and live the best life, great. That's awesome, but you're naive because money can give you, 1, better experiences, 2, protection from shitty things like accidents, disability, death in the family, some big things that may happen. So anyway, your relationship with money, how you use money, once you're making money, what to do with the money to protect you in the future. That's it in a recap. At this time, let's take some questions about money. It's scary, huh, guys? A little bit. How much money you might need to retire. Ben, you got $2 million in the bank? Huh? All right, I see some questions come through on Instagram and Facebook. So which one we gonna go with first, Alex?
Instagram. First one is from Stries German. What are the strategies for saving money? What are good strategies?
What are good strategies for saving money? You guys, you don't need this elaborate strategies. It's super basic. It's simple math. What are my bills? How much am I making? And let's go like this. You know what I mean? Ideally, I would say you should be saving 40% of every paycheck. So set yourself up with that. If your expenses are too high, check your lifestyle. Do you absolutely need the new vehicle? Do you need that $400, $500, $600 car payment? Is that needed? Because that's super expensive, terrible investment, and you're paying insurance on top of it. Check that. Go buy a $2,000 vehicle that if it breaks down, you got a little bit of money saved because you're not paying a car payment, and you fix it. Right? So it's simple math. Do you need to be living where you live in? Do you need to be going out all the time? Do you need the new watch? Do you need the new clothes? Do you absolutely need that stuff? Yeah, it may suck, but it's going to suck a lot worse if you're the Walmart greeter when you're 65. So right now, today, start having a better relationship with money. Look at your finances, and let's go like this. Make sure, and there's 2 ways. We could either increase income, which maybe you have a job and you start doing a side hustle. Maybe you're selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, which is awesome right now, right? Like Reese, you just started something right now that's super cool where you're buying vintage clothing and reselling them on Marketplace or wherever, right? There's some other marketplaces you're selling them too, right?
Instagram right now.
Instagram, Facebook Marketplace, another one, Craigslist.
Yeah.
Like right now, you guys, is like the absolute amazing time for that side hustle. You can make money so quick and easy just by buying and reselling, going to thrift stores and selling it on Instagram Market, right? So let's go like this, start saving money. Once you get that money saved, don't let that money sit. Take that money, make that money make more money for you. Cool? Next one.
You go Facebook or Instagram?
You guys see both of them?
Joshua Robinson.
What's up, Josh?
We just added to a venture group investment portfolio of $12 million. Wondering how you would approach those ventures and leveraging their networks and aid new customers, acquisition, and additional capital growth.
Whew. You have to replay that one for me, Reese. Sorry, there's construction. Here, let me read it. All right, Josh says, he just added to a venture group investment portfolio of $12 million. That's great. How do you approach those ventures, leveraging their networks, aid in new customer acquisition, and additional capital growth? Hey, Josh, I'm not really sure how to answer this one for you, man. I wouldn't want to give you bad advice on this. Let's do this. Let's hit me up after this. Let's talk more about that. I need more information about the group you're with, what you're investing in, how to leverage. Like I know you want to know all that stuff. There's not a lot of information there. So DM me. You guys got it. And hey, if you guys are out there, I'll talk to anybody about investments. It's all free stuff. So again, this is my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. So Josh, let's talk after the show, man, and let's see if we can help you out. All right. What else we got?
You got anything on here?
No questions. There's just like statements.
I got a question on Facebook. You guys see Facebook?
Yeah. Kayla Scott asked, do money problems ever go away as a business owner? What are realistic goals to set money-wise as a small business owner?
Do money problems ever go away as a business owner, and what are realistic goals to set, like saving money? Is that what she's asking?
Yeah.
Set to save money as small business, or like money goals. Do money problems ever go away as a business owner? It depends on what you want to do with your business. If you're always trying to grow and scale the business, probably not. You're probably always running pretty tight because you're reinvesting that money back into your business, back into your personnel. If you're good where you're at with the business, then you could set it up where like you're cash flowing a lot better and saving that money. So I think it really matters where you're at with the business. I know right now for me personally with our companies, if I stopped right now and stopped trying to grow, make my companies bigger, I could be saving good money. And the money problems wouldn't be as much. But being who I am, I know that I'm going to be in business for the next 100 years. I'm going to live to be 140. Sorry, guys. Forever until I die. I just love this so much that I'm always going to be trying to grow and scale. So the money, the revenue that I'm actually making, I'm taking, reinvesting back in by expanding with personnel, scaling businesses. Like I want to scale retail side. We got Body Rival, BR Nation that we're trying to scale. I'm reinvesting that money. So money's always really tight, and I'm always budgeting that money really well. So I don't know, Kayla, depends on where you're at with the business. If you're good, stack cash. If not, you're reinvesting back in your business. The other part of that is a realistic goal for a small business owner as far as money. Again, it comes down to the business and what you're doing with it. But as a small retail business owner, I know a lot of retail guys that are making six figures, making 100,000. I know some of them are making 40, 50,000. It really depends on your lifestyle. Like you could be super happy making $50,000 a year, but it's your business. You get to set your own schedule, and there's no boss over you. And I know us as entrepreneurs, we love that. We love creating our own world. So you can be super happy with $50,000 a year. It depends on a lifestyle. If you want to have, travel more, do more stuff, $150,000 a year. That's great, guys. Like you're making $100,000 a year and you're top 1% of America. Sounds crazy, right? You're in the top 1% of the United States making $100,000 a year. I think that's what it is. Don't research that. But I'm pretty sure that's what that is. At least top 5%. So I think it's realistic if you're a business owner to be making six figures. And it's not going to be easy. You're going to work your ass off to do it. But once you get there, you're there. And it's a machine. Should be a machine that's just pumping money for you. So cool.
Taylor McKillop asked, do you have stock investments?
Taylor, I do, man. I do have some stock investments. And I think we're getting ready to roll into like an IRA right now. But here's a problem with being an entrepreneur, Taylor, is like I always believe that I can take that money and turn that money into bigger money. Meaning like if I take 10 grand, I can flip that 10 grand better and faster because I have 100% control over it. So it's really hard for me to put money in stocks to earn maybe a 5% return on investment over the period of a lot of years, where I can take that money and it's a gamble and flip it. I'm taking a risk. So Taylor, man, it's hard for me to continue investing. I know I need to do it, so I do it a little bit. Majority of my money is building businesses and scaling the business. So if you're a business owner out there, I would suggest doing both. I would invest into some stocks, but I also would take your money, control your money to make more money that way. Anything on Instagram? Cool. Well, hey guys, that's my spiel on money and my thoughts, my opinions. Would love, if you guys have more questions about money, DM me, hit me up on my Facebook, Instagram, just Kurt Belding. I think it's Kurt Belding CEO. Find me on YouTube. That's where I house all these videos. If you're on YouTube, subscribe so you can see these videos anytime you want. Hit the bell, throws a little notification up when we pop up a new video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. This is the Ask the BCE Show, episode number 16. And we're out.